Blessings everyone, this is Chris Kennel from the rawadvantage.com, registered holistic nutritionist, raw food lifestyle coach, and raw chef. Today I'm hitting you heavy with my all-time favorite, no-fat, hygienic raw food recipes for dinner. Good way to get all your greens in. Let's check it out.
Baby, I like it raw. Raw Advantage likes it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Hey.
Alright guys, so this is, as I said, one of my all-time favorites. If I look back in time over the last 15 years raw, I'd say this may just be my most consistent dinner recipe. And sure, you can mix it up, but this is the base recipe. You can make it really sweet, you can make it really savory. It's a really good way to get in a lot of greens in a small volume, because if you've been looking at the raw food lifestyle for a while, if you've been living it for a while, if you've been researching it, you know that getting enough fruit is important, but it is also important to get enough greens over the long term, and a lot of people have trouble with this. So this recipe is going to really help you get a large amount into a small bowl and taste super mega delicious. So what is the recipe? Today we're making my favorite stew from me to you. Now this recipe serves one banana commander. It's one giant serving, around 4 pounds. It might serve 2 people or 3 wee people, Wee people? I didn't, oh gosh, I'm in trouble now. Anyhow, what we're gonna start with is this right here. So we got mango, we got zucchini, we got tomatoes, we got bok choy. This is a mix of spinach and arugula, but it could just be arugula or spinach, and cilantro. Let's start with the juicy bits and get this recipe going. Now, starting with the juicy bits, we're gonna use tomatoes, and you can use up to about 2 pounds of tomatoes. I have 2 varieties, this for in the stew, and these guys for in the broth. Now, you could use any tomatoes, the whole amount, and just chop them instead of using this, but it's a little bit easier to use these cherry tomatoes and just plop them in the bowl.
Plop.
So that's where we'll start. We'll just take all these beautiful cherry tomatoes, so we have 1 pound of them. I'm gonna put them right into the bowl.
Plop.
If you have a little mouth, you can cut them in half. I kind of like big pieces because I got a bit of a big mouth. All right, so next we're gonna take the beautiful bok choy. This is one of the most underrated greens out there. This is about 1 pound, and it's really, really rich in minerals. It's really rich in protein, really rich in sodium, way more calcium and iron than a lot of other greens. Plus, it's usually inexpensive, and this crispy white stem is it's one of my favorites ever. I love bok choy. I could eat it all the time. So we're gonna take this beautiful bok choy. We're gonna chop the stem up into little bite-sized pieces. The size depends upon your preference. Then we're gonna carefully chop off the greens and set those aside. Then we're gonna add all the white stem bits into the bowl with the tomatoes. Next, we're gonna take the humble zucchini. If you prefer cucumber, you can use cucumber. I like the zucchini. We're just gonna dice it up into similar sized pieces and throw it into the bowl with the tomatoes and the bok choy stems. Now that we got all the beautiful chopped up bits into the bowl, which will form the basic chunky portion of our stew, it's time to start really looking into the broth. So for the broth, we're gonna use the other pound of tomatoes. Whatever tomatoes you like, the better quality, the better tasting this will be. If you have really damn good organic heirloom tomatoes, really savory tomatoes, it's gonna taste even better. But we're gonna use these guys here, so it's gonna suck. Loose chop the tomatoes and throw those in the blender. The next main ingredient for the sauce is mangoes. Now you can use any variety of mangoes. I just have these guys here. They're really nice and sweet. We have just over 1 pound of mangoes because we want the broth to be approximately 50-50 tomato to mango. And of course there's some stem and some pit in these. You can use more mango if you like to make it sweeter. You can use less if you like it really savory. So we'll just chop the sides off these mangoes, carefully scoop them into the blender, and then we'll squeeze the pit so we get all the mango into the blender with the tomatoes. Then using the trusty Vitamix blender, we will blend this nice and smooth. Once the mixture is nice and smooth, we're gonna take the beautiful cilantro. Now I'm gonna pulse it in. Cilantro is an amazing herb. If you don't like it, you can use more arugula or spinach, or you could use basil or dill, whatever your favorite is. If you don't like cilantro, I'm sorry, it's a genetic thing. Don't force yourself to like it. But I just love it. And with cilantro, because it does pull on heavy metals, which is one of its properties, you want to make sure that you're getting organic cilantro. That's the best. We're just going to lightly break up the cilantro, place it in the blender, and give it a quick pulse or two. Next, we'll put all the reserve tops from the bok choy in there. They're a little bit tougher, and that's the reason we put the cilantro in there first, because you want those stems all broken up. So let's get this in here. And this is about the time where we might need the tamper. Start at a low between 4 and 5. Just get tamper. Just get it in there. Last but not least, we have all the arugula and spinach. And, you know, like I said, you can use more arugula if you want it a little bit more spicy, a bit more of a bite. Or you can use all spinach if you don't like the spiciness of arugula. If you want, you can use dandelion greens. If you want, you can use any other one, Boston, Bib, romaine. But these are my favorite for the flavors and the mineral densities. Pretty damn good. It's tamper time! Don't be afraid to give it a pulse. Now that looks perfect to me, and look, that's like 1.25 liters of saucy stewness that I am really damn excited for. What do you think, guys? Should we mix it all up?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. Now I know it looks a little green and sloppy, guys, but until you've tried it, you just don't know what you're missing out on. As I said, this is probably one of my most consistent dinner meals every year round. I just love it. Oh my god, no joke. And if hygienic isn't necessarily your tip, you can add an extra little bit of a pow! A bit of hot pepper and some green onion. Tastes amazing. I do that sometimes. If you want to make it non-fat, then you can add, you know, some cubed avocado, or if you want, you could sprinkle some hemp seeds in there, or even in the sauce itself. The sky's the limit, guys. You know, this is just a base, delicious recipe that you guys can play with and make your own. I hope you guys have fun in the kitchen and enjoy it. Enjoy this recipe. So if you guys like what you see, give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe for way more videos. Make sure you check out my frickin' Rawsome Recipes playlist up there for lots more. Plus my website is newly updated, so you can check out a whole bunch of different posts in my books and, you know, a bunch of fun stuff. You know, it's all out there for you guys. I hope you absolutely love it. As always, wishing you much peace, love, and seasonal fruit.
My favorite stew. From me to you. No joke, guys. Check out the Rawsome Recipes playlist in the top left, the video just for you in the top right, subscribe in the bottom right, and get your free ebooks in the bottom left.
Grab my free iPhone app. Comes with 50 free recipes, common fruit and vegetable calorie breakdown, a food combining chart, shopping cart function, and much, much more.